What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about if Forspoken's delay gives us a hint on the PlayStation Showcase. Now, this is definitely a reach or a stretch. I mean, I want to make it very, very transparent, when I make these videos. These are interesting ideas to me. This could very well be nothing, right? It could be, leaning too much into it, whatever. But, I guess follow me through it, because this is a little interesting way of them talking, and there is actually other info I want to use to try to back myself up, right? To give myself a little bit more credibility. So, in the delay, which by the way, I believe I'm going to be covering the delay on my second channel, Podcast on Plus. If you guys want to go over there, we'll just talk about, its delay, why it's delayed, all that stuff. But at the bottom, the bottom paragraph is important too. They thank people and they say, "We cannot wait to share more about Forspoken with you later this summer." Now, that's a small line. Most times I skip that kind of stuff, I'll be honest. When I read these kind of press releases, I don't really look at the thanks part to the fans. I don't really care too much. I'll give them the money and they give me a good game, and that's fine. But no, that's, to me, that's obviously a little odd, or I think to a lot of people would be like, okay, well, what are they talking about? Because that reads as if, well, obviously, they're going to be showing more Forspoken later this summer. Now, there's only a couple ways, in my opinion, that you can do something like that, specifically because of Forspoken's, whatever you want to say, partnership, right, with Sony, right? It's being made by Square Enix, but it's releasing exclusively for the consoles of PlayStation. So it makes sense to me that it would only be shown at a PlayStation event. Now, the reason I go to a PlayStation showcase, there are two options. You could do a state of play just dedicated to Forspoken. I think we will eventually get that. And, again, for a good counter argument against, a showcase. Me arguing, I guess, for a showcase, right? A good argument against that would be, well, they easily could do a state of play. It could be a 10, 12-minute event. You would show Forspoken. You would show kind of a detailed thing. We have seen a lot of it. It's becoming to some people like Deathloop. To me, it's not there yet, right? If it's at, like, the next 2 or 3 PlayStation events, then I'll say it's like Deathloop. But, I do think a 10-minute sitting down with the game, just taking us on, like, one side quest or, like, one literal arc where it's start to finish, you don't stop, there's no cuts in the game. I think that would work really well for a game like Forspoken. I think people kind of want to see what that looks like, or at least I do. I guess I can only speak for myself. I want to see what it looks like. Just start up the game and just walk us through 10 minutes, show us some dialogue, show us what the characters look like, show us the environment, show us the gameplay, and just naturally walking into the gameplay. Let's see that. So I do think a state of play would do this game a lot of good. I do think we will get that from this game. I mean, we've gotten it for every PlayStation, like any game like this, you get a state of play, right? They've been doing it for years, so I do think that's coming. But later this summer, technically, okay, let's go technical. Technically, summer goes into September, right? I think September 21st is the first day of fall. Now, the reason I bring that up, let's bring in the other things now, right? So you have Forspoken, but there was actually a story on the Knights of the Old Republic remake that I talked about way back when, about a month or so ago, where they talked about that game, and they talked about how we're going to see more of it in a few months. I think in several months is what the person said. So there's another game where it's like, okay, well, we actually can expect Knights of the Old Republic news in several months, whatever that means. And that was said, I think, the beginning of May or maybe the middle of May. So, I mean, that can stretch all throughout the summer, right? God of War Ragnarok, what just happened with that? Well, we got the release date, but, you see the trailer, and the trailer's awesome. It's not going to, I think, move the needle for anybody, right? It's going to make you excited, but if you hate God of War, or you're not into God of War, or if you're even interested in what does God of War Ragnarok look like, that trailer is not answering any questions for you, right? So you expect, I think, ideally, a state of play for that, and maybe that takes part in a PlayStation Showcase. Then you obviously have the fact that I think a PlayStation Showcase will happen. I don't think really anybody is going to go and say, no, we're going to go through the entire fall and there won't be a PlayStation event. I feel like Forspoken is another, again, it's not like the only thing we've seen. It's not the thing that makes or breaks a showcase happening, but I do think that was kind of just another sign where it's like, okay, just another thing where we keep hearing these, like the phrases, we keep hearing these phrases like, we'll show you more later this summer or in a few months, right? You keep hearing that, and it's like, well, what can you do that can combine all these things? Well, what event would you have where you could show Knights of the Old Republic remake and you could show a game like Forspoken? Well, a state of play, I guess it could be, right? Like a minor state of play. Well, it wouldn't really be all that minor, but, a mini state of play. I mean, I guess you could do that, or, or it could be a legitimate, a 1-hour experience, whatever, a PlayStation Showcase, and you show stuff stuff off. So I think that's kind of what they're hinting at. I would say, like, my gut reaction would say that's I think what they're hinting for. It of course could just be, you know, a 10-12 minute state of play only on Forspoken. It could easily be that, but I hope they're kind of referencing, hey, you know, late August, early September, maybe you get the Hogwarts Legacy release date, you see God of War, you see Forspoken, you see Knights of the Old Republic. I mean, there's 4 games. Maybe you show Spider-Man 2. I mean, you could build a 10 to 12 game list probably right now. You know what I mean? So that's what I hope it's teasing. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.